excuse the really, really rough phrase. The excuse for that is that I am working from home today, purely because, I don't know if you can see it behind me, but we are having a bit of a snow day. So, whole of Norwich has been hit by loads and loads and loads of snow, which I absolutely love. However, our work has taken the decision that we should work from home today, so that has been what I've been doing. It's actually been really, I've been quite grateful for it, to be perfectly honest, purely because I don't know whether it's third semester now beginning to hit in or set in, but I've been so tired the last couple of days. I've literally been in bed by like 9:30. I certainly was asleep by 9:30 last night. Got up at 7:30 to see the message to say stay at home, and jumped back in bed just to keep warm, and I was flicking through my phone. Next thing I know, I woke up and it was like 9:15. So hence the no makeup, because normally even when I work from home, I do still get showered and made up and everything. But yeah, just been really, really tired. Other things that have been happening in week 31. I'm pretty sure the baby's beginning to move down, purely because I can breathe a bit easier at the top, and there's been a lot of pressure like down below, and a lot of the movements I get are down below, with the odd ones right up in my ribs, which could be its feet, I'm not sure. Still do get breathless walking around, but I'm less breathless than I was. But I've got the midwife this week, so I'll update you as to whether that is correct, or whether my kind of my pregnancy predictions are completely wrong. The other new addition, there has been another new addition to the family, which I was hoping to show you. Your eyes do not deceive you. That is a new mummy wagon underneath all that snow. So yeah, I have a new mummy wagon. We went and picked it up last night and drove it back in the snow. It was a little bit hair raising at some points, but it's fine. So hopefully I'll actually get to show you it a bit more when it's not covered in snow. The other development has been that we had our antenatal classes over the weekend. So on Sunday we had an all-day session, and we had another class on Monday. So I'll sit down and take you through everything properly as to what we went over. Really, really enjoying them. It's with a company called About Birth and Babies. Our leader, or tutor, I guess, I don't know, is with a lady called Sian, who is absolutely lovely. Really, really good, knows her stuff. But like I say, I'll sit down and give you a proper run through when I actually look a bit more presentable and you can stomach a bit more of my face. I've just had a message come through to say that yoga that I was going to go to tomorrow night with Debbie is now cancelled, but that's because of the weather again, purely because the venue's not going to be open tomorrow night, so that's a shame, but that's okay. It'll probably do me good actually to have an evening in to chill, and I'm looking forward to tonight actually having an evening in to chill, because we've just been so busy with classes and, like I say, picking up the car last night, and I've been doing the nursery, and there's something on all the time. Although we're not out and about all the time, there's always seems to be something to do. But I just wanted to check in. Just wanted to show you the snow because it's so exciting. And that was the other thing that was weird. We were chatting about it in the office, and there's a few of our colleagues have got like young children, 2-3 years old. And the last time we had snow like this was probably back in, I think we worked out it to be February 2013. It might have even been February 2012. One of them two. But there's a couple of them who've got kids who are only 2-3 years old. So they've never seen snow like this. And it just kind of gets you thinking of like, oh my gosh, I keep talking to Bambino about it, telling them about it. Particularly when I was driving back, because obviously me and Mark went in a car together to pick up the other car, but coming home, he drove the new one, I drove my one. And it was a bit hair-raising at some points. the snow really started to come down and you couldn't see the road. So I was driving at like 20 miles an hour on a road where normally you would be doing 60, and there was like no street lights. So it was a bit... So I was chatting to Bambino all the way through it, really, and telling them about the snow and what snow's like, and as and when they're here, when the snow falls, we'll go sledging. This is what sledging's like. And it's really, weird to think that this is something that we will be teaching them about at some point. And it's sad that they're not going to get to see it yet, but hey, they will. And it's kicking away right now, so it knows I'm talking about it. But yeah, so I'm going to spend the rest of the day finishing off my work, staying cosy, staying in the warm, and then I'll update you later on in the week with regards to classes, the midwife, and I'll give you a good bump shot too.
Feel free to say I told you so.
Why would I do that?
Well, you said to Marvin earlier about his arrhythmia.
What did I say? I can't.
Still got sanction me. Sanction? It's not my benefits. I've made myself an employee.
You are seriously ill. Is he having my operation? Your condition is stable. Good.
And what else? What's in my life? And there's rules against saying that sort of thing to patients.
Has nothing to do with me.
Well, what What's it then?
Love to it really doesn't matter.
It does.
You know what I keep thinking? What are you doing now? Nothing. Should we go back to mine and get a takeaway?
So it's time to go for my midwifery appointment, but the beast from the east, as it's been named, is still very much at large here. So Bambino, I want it on record that in the snow, or the most snow that we've had for 30 years, I'm still going to my midwifery appointments to make sure that you are okay. I was going to walk because it's police have issued a driving warning. You're not meant to drive at the moment. Due to severe black ice, but Mark didn't want me walking in case I toppled over, so he's actually got a 4x4 at work. So he's now on his way back to come and get me and to take me. Hello, I thought I'd give you a quick update because I didn't speak to you after the midwife appointment, and quite frankly it's because I then just ran out of time, and then yesterday I had a slight incident in that we are still snowy. We've had more snow overnight tonight, or last night, but yesterday I was making my way out to get something from the car and I just went completely over on the ice, and it's just one of them slow-mo moments where you can feel yourself start to go, and there's just nothing you can do about it. And before I knew it, I was completely on my back. Came down with quite a thud. I squealed like a banshee, mainly because it really hurt, but only just because of the SPD pubic bone issue. I'm meant to walk like a mermaid. I'm meant to keep my legs together as much as possible. Sorry, these hairs are really annoying me. Meant to keep my legs together as much as possible, but obviously being on ice, I was literally like Bambi, seeing my legs completely separated and split. And I've never felt pain like it. Trying to get up was like an issue. If you can picture a tortoise on its back, yeah, that was pretty much me. Trying to wriggle to then get over onto my side, to crawl eventually on my knees from the ground to the front door, because every time I put my foot down I just slipped over again. I couldn't actually get up. So it wasn't until I actually then got indoors and managed to stand up, that I could actually feel the amount of pain I was in, and I was in excruciating pain in my groin area. I'd also kind of jarred my back and hurt my side as well where I'd landed, but it was mainly the pubic bone that I could feel it. Honestly, any weight I then put on my legs was just excruciating. Managed to hold a Mark to tell him what had happened. I wasn't actually that worried about the baby, but not because I'm heartless, purely because it was carrying on movement. It hadn't stopped. It'd been active all that morning, and it was continuing even when I was sat there, even though I was slightly shaken. But I think I was shaking more because I was annoyed at myself. I was I'm not annoyed at myself, but I felt helpless. I felt like, I know I'm used to being really independent and just doing my own thing, and that was one situation where I just wanted to get out of the house and just get something from the car, and I couldn't even do that. I've been my sisters have popped round to see me, walked over, my mum's popped over several times in the last few days and walked over. They can do it, so why can't I? Why can't I couldn't even make it out to my driveway without pissing over, quite frankly. But I did speak to Mark. He was worried about the baby, understandably, so he wanted me to speak to the midwife, which I did do. But the midwives were reassured in the fact that I didn't land on my stomach. I took the brunt of the fall. And my blood group was A positive, which for whatever reason makes a difference. So they weren't worried about that, and the babies continued to move. So it was only if I subsequently suffer from any bleeding or if my waters break, then that's when I need to go in. So other than that, I'm absolutely fine, just very, very sore. So it's paracetamol and hot water bottles for me. Evening. So I thought I'll give you a quick 31-week bump update. I don't really know how much you can see when I wear a top like this. So, let's try and get you in one mirror. So there is a side view. I don't know if I lift that up, that might give you a bit of a better comparison. It looks a bit smaller to me. But like I say, if you actually compare it to how far out compared to my chest it's going, then that might give you a bit of a better comparison. And then that is a frontward view. It has dropped slightly, so it was a lot higher, as per what the midwife said, because obviously the head is now engaged and belly button is beginning to pop out, which does revolt me just a little bit. The one thing I really did not want, but hey ho, pregnancy woes. It's not third world problems and all that, but yeah, so that is a 31-week bump update. Hello. So I've suddenly realised that I haven't actually given you a roundup of what happened at the midwife the other day. I did say I was also going to give you an update on the antenatal classes and give a run through, but actually we've got our last one now coming up. So what I might do is I'll wait till we've had our last one, and then I'll do a whole summary of the whole thing, and I can give you a proper overview. But all in all, midwife went absolutely fine. It was quite nice actually, because Mark got to come and actually see what happens. And he correctly identified when I laid down and she was going to take my stomach measurements here. She said, "Oh look, there's something there. I think that must be a head up there." And she went, no, I think you'll find that's a bum, because your baby is head down and engaged. Although that isn't to say it's going to come early. It can kind of come out of position all the way up until 36 weeks, I think she said. At 36 weeks, they then want it definitely head down, and it should then stay head down from that point onwards. But it's a good indicator that it certainly knows where to go. It has been moving about loads, which is really reassuring, especially after the fall. I'm okay, I'm just a bit sore. But to be perfectly honest, I'd be sore whether I was pregnant or not. It is particularly in between, the pubic bone area that is really, really sore. but it's just paracetamol and hot water bottles, and that's all I can do. I've actually done pretty much the whole of the pregnancy not taking any painkillers whatsoever. When I had the really rough patch with the pubic bone and right at the beginning, I did take paracetamol for a little bit back then, but other than that, I've pretty much continued all the way through not taking anything, because I'm determined not to, because it's mind over matter, and that's kind of what I'm going to have to do for the birth anyway. So I kind of wanted not to, but literally just to be able to actually get any kind of sleep the last few days. I have taken some because I'm particularly stiff around the back area following the fall, and obviously, yeah, incredibly painful in between my legs. But yeah, the measurement from the midwife, I am at the upper end of the scale yet again. Sorry, I'm doing tea as I chat to you. However, because I did then say, oh my god, does that then mean I'm having a big baby? And she reiterated the fact that she is not concerned in the slightest. If anything, it's reassuring because it's growing at a steady rate. It's going up at the same point each time she measures me now. But the measurement of your stomach includes all the water, the placenta, and the baby, and everything else that is in your stomach. It's not just pure baby. So actually, it's not that scientific a measurement. So no, it does not mean I'm having a 9-pounder, which is what the chart says, if that's what you read it. So that is good. She was pleased with that. My bloods had all come back absolutely fine. There are no signs of preeclampsia or anything like that. We discussed the fact that I'm really suffering with heartburn right now, which is just a side effect of pregnancy really, and restless legs. Restless legs have now begun to set in. And again, there's not really a lot they can do for that. Heartburn there is, if it really gets unbearable, then I can go and see the GP and he can prescribe me something, but I'm just going to see how far I can last really on my own. But other than that, just continue with the physio for the pubic bone. We're going to go over my birth, well, normally it's a birth plan, but I've written a birth wish list, which actually is something that I picked up from the antenatal classes. Sian from there really helped me with that and kind of got my head around the whole thing, because I wasn't actually going to write a birth plan, purely because, which for me is a massive thing. If there's an opportunity to plan and write a list, I will do it. However, I also know that if I then write a list, I need to follow it to the letter, and I'm getting the impression that birth isn't quite like that. Birth, you're going to have to be quite fluid. So I took a decision not to, originally I took a decision not to write one, purely because I didn't want to then upset myself or panic myself if things weren't following it, or it wasn't going to, I wasn't going to get to do everything on the list and tick everything off, so to speak. But actually Sian then helped me draft a birth wish list of what I would like to happen in an ideal scenario. So I briefly discussed that with the midwife, but we're actually going to go over it properly at my next appointment, which is now only, it's 3 weeks. I see them every 2 to 3 weeks now. Or the next one is 3 weeks, and I think after that, because I'll be nearly 35 weeks then, I see them every 2 weeks after that. Right up until the baby. Because we're getting close now and there's not many appointments more to go. So all in all, it's been quite eventful, kind of 31 weeks really. So yeah, baby has dropped, baby's head engaged, I'm feeling fine. No particular extra cravings or anything like that. The only thing is, Mark has discovered one of my secret cravings, which I thought I was hiding quite well till he walked into the kitchen and caught me. And that's where I was eating gravy granules straight from the tin. So I don't know if that's something to do with salt, potentially, or whether I'm just weird, which is quite a possibility, because I did used to eat Oxo cubes prior to being pregnant anyway. Pregnancy hasn't improved my cooking skills, it seems. Whoops. But that's the only thing that's really changed. I've eased up on the Maltesers. I am breathing easier and freer now that the baby is head down, but I do still get breathless, like walking around and things like that. Sleeping is getting a bit more of an issue. It's just getting general comfort really, but only after the last couple of days. But that's probably to do more with the fall than anything like that, than anything else. But yeah, and things are progressing. We've obviously picked up the car and things are progressing with the nursery. So hopefully by the end of next week, I'll actually be able to show you the nursery and we can get some bits and pieces done. But the decorating are pretty much there now. I've got all the curtains and the cot. We just need to actually do them and put them up. We've still got to pick up the changing table for my granddad's actually and build that. But other than that, we are pretty much there. But I think that's going to be it for another week. So that's end of week 31 done, and I'll catch up with you next week. Bye!